All right, it's about that time of year again. Welcome back to another video, everyone. Today, well, it might not be today. One of these days, either today, tomorrow, maybe Monday. We're gonna start digging peanuts here soon. I'm just out here in the field, checking it out. We did shut off the water a couple of days ago. Actually, not a couple of, it might have just been 2 days ago. Whatever it was, recently we turned it off. And we got about 3/10 of rain on it the other day. So now I wanted to come out here and check. I want to see how wet it is. And just by the top of the ground, it looks very wet. So I doubt we're gonna go. But that's what I'm out here checking. I'm checking to see how wet it is. See this, a little too wet maybe. Because I want the dirt to be wet, but like a dry wet, if you know what I mean. I want it to be drier than this, that way it falls off the plant easily. Show you here, I want to pull out a plant. I want to do one final test. I want to see how ready the peanuts are. We gotta have good maturity rate. With Virginias, we like them to be at least ready about 75-80%. If they're too far ready, if they're too mature, then you just lose all the peanuts on digging. They're overripe essentially, and they'll just fall off. It's not what you want. You want them to be, with Virginias anyway, you want them to be at that 75-80%. Runners, smaller peanuts, those, you can almost wait till the end. You can wait till like 95%. But that's what I'm gonna check here. Okay, I'm gonna pull out a plant. I'm gonna bring it over to my truck, and then we'll calculate to see how far ready it is. And also, quite a bit of dew out today morning. As you can tell, my feet got a little wet from walking through there. Alright, here's the peanuts. Here's what I'm gonna do. Let me actually set you guys down right there. Take out my knife, grab a peanut, and I just scratch the surface. So as you can tell, that's scratched pretty easily and kind of reveals a white layer. So that one's not mature yet. So that one goes on that side of the pile. Which I'll do is before I start this, I just want to grab one plant. I know I grabbed like a few plants here, but I don't want to grab that many. I kind of just trying to look for an average, what the average yield would be like. Well, not yield, the average maturity would be like. But as long as I get like a good number of peanuts. Get my truck all dirty over here, and I just cleaned it. I'll take these peanuts too. As long as I get like 100 peanuts, then I can get a good calculation of how mature it is. But if I grab this peanut, I can already tell. If I scratch this one, it reveals a black layer underneath it. I don't know if you can see that, but that means it's mature. Once they show black, that means they're mature. So I'm gonna do that with all the peanuts. Put them into piles. If they're brown or black, the darker they are, the more mature they are. I'll put the brown and blacks in one pile and the white and light browns on another pile, and then I'll calculate the percentages on what's mature and what's not. Now that I got it separated into piles, just gotta count them. Now I grab my handy dandy calculator that my teacher said I never would have with me. I add the two together, and then I'll take that number divided by the total, and we're getting close. Which right now it's showing 60% mature, which it's surprising. And I've been having this issue a lot this year, and I don't know what it is. Maybe it was the heat throughout the summer, but we'll check one spot, and one spot will show like we're 90% ready to go, and then we check another spot and we're 60. So like we don't know whether we want to go or not. We don't know if we're actually wanting to go. I mean, right now the ground is pretty wet, so it doesn't need more water regardless, so hence why we did turn off the pivot. But at the same time, if we are too far mature and we dig, we'll lose a lot of peanuts. So you kind of want to dig at least a little bit earlier, but if we dig too early, then you know our grades suck at the local co-op, or whatever you want to call them, just a peanut place. But yeah, that's our dilemma that we got going on right now. We don't know if we want to go or not. We've been debating it. We've been checking multiple spots. We've been checking the low spots of the field, the high spots. We've been taking the average of the whole field, and we're at the point where it feels like we need to go, right? It's what it feels like. I mean, the peanuts, they don't look bad yet. They do start crashing towards the end. But these peanuts, I'm here at the end of the field anyway, but they'll probably look a little bit worse than the rest. Which they don't look bad once you start seeing stuff like that, where the leaves start turning brown, and it does that over the whole plant, especially stuff like this. That means the plant is slowly dying, and it's done for the year. It doesn't want to grow anymore. It's essentially shutting down. Then it really doesn't grow much anyway. The rest of the peanuts don't mature. A lot of the peanuts that are on there, if they're super tiny, we're at the end of the year, they don't have enough time to mature anyway. So that's what we're looking at now, deciding whether we want to dig or not. I guess we'll know here in the next few days if it's going to be go time or not. And then once it's go time, then it'll be dig everything out and then move on to the next job. So I guess I'll keep y'all updated and see what happens in the next couple of days. All right, coming here to another spot in the field. Here you can see more of what I was talking about. It looks like these peanuts here, it's not really a hill, but it looks like they're crashing a lot more than the rest of the field. Yeah, look, see all them brown leaves? Yeah, see all that wilting? Yeah, the plant's shutting down. This is what you would call crashing. You can tell it's a lot more dull, a lot more brown in this area. It's kind of what would it be, maybe 15-20 acre little piece here. You can see it a lot more here. There's a low spot down there. There's a lot of grass in there, which we sprayed for, by the way. I think we sprayed at least like twice, and the Bermuda grass just keeps coming back. It's been a pain to deal with this year, so I have a feeling it's gonna suck with the diggers every time there's Bermuda grass. But we tried spraying for them, but regardless, looks a little better over there, a little greener over there, and that's a low spot, so that would make sense. But this it's kind of like an average. It's not really a hill, but just the average flat area here looks a little browner. Close over there to the pivot looks a little greener. So you know, we're torn in between two options in the digging or not digging. So like I said, I'll keep y'all updated, see what happens. Maybe these next 2 days, because today's Friday, maybe these next 2 days we'll have a business meeting at the golf course or something and just relax before things get busy. Well, just got done with our business meeting at the golf course, and then I get a text message, pivot alignment fault. It wasn't that convenient, and perfect timing. Literally, it was as I was leaving, so it was literally perfect timing. And I can see it from here. Actually, I saw it already as I was coming around the field, that one side is spun in like crazy. I fixed a U-joint on this pivot 2 days ago, and that was at the end tower. Luckily, I noticed it. I was barely checking up on the pivot, and I noticed one side was spun in. I was like, oh shoot, better quickly fix that. And now coming here, yikes, I can see it has no tire, so I think that might be the issue. Luckily, if it's a tire, it's a better tire than a gearbox. Gearboxes are heavy and annoying to deal with, but coming up here, it looks like it's just a tire. and also a 24.5. We might carry though. I know we have one at the barn, but there might be one here at this pad. I know we like to at least keep one or two, but looks like tire broke off, and I see it about 100 yards that way. So I'll have to carry something twice. I might back up here. I am a decent ways away from my truck, and carrying the new tire up to here, doable but annoying. Going to get the old tire, carrying it up to here, and then another like 200 yards that way. Just annoying to deal with. Oh, I'm actually glad I double checked. That drive shaft popped off, so there's more stuff wrong than just the tire. But I'm assuming this is what caused it to begin with. But anything to fix the U-joint on that side, I carry all parts like that inside my truck, so that should be no problem fixing it. I just gotta go get a tire, and then I'll be back. And doesn't look like there's a tire here. Yeah, we usually keep one right there. So to the barn I go. Yeah, we should have plenty of tires back here, which we do. There's plenty of tires here, and I'm afraid of what I'm seeing. Not a single 24.5. These are all just 24s. These are all the new tires that we've been putting on our pivots. Yeah, the other stacks of 24s, those are all brand new ones. These are all retreaded. The rims are good. We just put new tires on them. And yep, well, you don't have a single one. Well, now the question is, I think I'm gonna have to swap both tires on each side, because these are 24s, not 24.5s. So if I swap one side tire to a 24, then I have to do the other side. It looks like that's what I'll have to do. I guess we're swapping 2 tires today. Luckily the hoses actually stopped dripping water, so at least that's a plus. Guess let's get to work. We'll start with jacking up this side, then I'll come here to this side and see what exactly is wrong. Maybe just the rubber broke off. At least that's what it looks like. I don't actually, might as well start on this while I'm at it. Yeah, that side's fine. And the side on the gearbox is also fine. That rubber should go in between here. That looks fine. Looks all solid. Looks like the rubber, I guess, was just an old one. Can't find it anywhere. Usually you can spot them, but in this, oh, there it is. I see it. Huh, it's also fine. I guess it must have just slipped out. Huh, looks like I can even reuse some of this stuff. That's nice. I like it. Alright, got the good tire off. I'm gonna replace this whole shaft here before I put the tire back on. That way I have all this room to work with. Done. And now time to go get that tire. Got it. That one was rough. That one was a little annoying. And also, I was carrying
the inner tube back with me at the same time. And it got too annoying, always dragging it with me, so I unloaded it right here. Gonna grab this real quick. Don't want to leave that on the field. Clean up that tire, crank up the pivot, start watering again. Should be good to go. So much for keeping my truck clean. I guess that never lasts long. Oh, did I forget to mention that my brother and my dad are on vacation again? And do you remember what happened last time that they went on vacation? Yeah, you guessed it. Everything went wrong. Every pivot kept breaking. Surprise, surprise, this pivot's broken on me twice in the last 3 days. That isn't that great. Family, you better get back from vacation. I'm tired of fixing pivots already, and it's only been twice. I am pretty sure there is one well still running because it keeps doing that. All the wells should be on auto. When the pivot turns off, the wells need to turn off. And I don't know which well it is, so for now it can stay running because I'm going to crank up the pivot. Put it on forward. Let's just crank up the percent to 100. It'll line itself better, faster. But whenever we do turn off the pivot for real, whenever we're done irrigating our peanuts, then we'll have to make sure to grab our four-wheeler, drive around every single well, make sure every single one of them is off. Because you can't have this leak in here like this all winter. Once it builds pressure though, it does seal and it stops leaking. Because it's technically supposed to do that. Whenever there's no pressure, it's supposed to kind of release and drain. Just that way it doesn't freeze, that way there's some give, and pressure is supposed to seal it. So for now, it'll stay like that, but we'll check up on the wells whenever we're done watering. All right, doesn't have an alignment fault anymore. Put it on forward because it was going on reverse. So the back end, because it was trying to go that way, the back end straightened itself out. No more alignment faults, so now I can turn the water on. I'll adjust the percent later whenever it pressure's up. And this is one of the wells that comes here into this pivot. I'll give it a second. And water should start flowing into the pivot. There she is. And then that'll stop leaking. And we can continue irrigating. We are on the back end of irrigating though. This field is runners, not Virginias. This field, it's gonna be at least 3 weeks behind the Virginias. Because not only was this the last field that we planted, runners, they do also take longer to mature than Virginias do. Virginias are always a little earlier. So most likely this field is gonna be the last one that we dig. According to our scratch tests on all the fields that we've been doing, this one seems like it's not the furthest behind, but it's the last one. It looks like it's on the tail end of it by the time everything else is gonna be ready, and this is gonna be the last one. But I think that's gonna be it for today. Only thing now is to wait, and then hurry up and wait some more, and then keep waiting, and then we'll finally start digging peanuts. These last couple of days, they really creep up on you, and it seems like, it's ready, and you're like itching to go. It's like neighbors are going, shoot, we better go. Nope, gotta have your patience, gotta wait. And it's just hard, you know? It's hard waiting when you see everybody else around you going. But you gotta be patient, time will come, peanuts will get ready when they get ready. It's close anyway. We're thinking, I don't know, we might start tomorrow, maybe we'll start Monday. Who knows, maybe we'll even send the pivot around again, because earlier when I checked, it showed 60% ready. And you know, it just, at that spot does not feel ready to me. The rest of the field could be different, you know, you never know. We've done multiple scratch tests, especially on that field alone. there were some plants that we pulled out where there was like only a small number of whites and the rest were all scratch and black. And so by that it was ready, but then the next plant right beside it is not ready. So to go or not to go, that's the question. And I guess you'll figure out in the next video whenever we do start going. So as for this video, as always, I do appreciate y'all for watching. I'll see y'all guys in the next one.